going on all hailing frequencies on both our Facebooks at Sci Fiction and our Facebooks at Sci Fiction Star Wars, including at Sci Fiction on and at Sci Fiction Official. To hope everybody's having a beautiful evening. Got over some update goodness to go over. We are going to let everybody pour in the room here. Got a lot of update goodness going to be going on here soon. Woo! We are going to be, me and crew are going to be in the Gulf Coast region in Mississippi, Biloxi. I believe it's March 3rd through the 5th at Coastcon. We're looking at going down there to do some coverage of that and be there present. And we are going to be there for those 3 days. We're going to fly and do some business stuff with some other things. Before that, this week, Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, we are going to be interviewing an amazing actress who was in Doom Patrol, DC's Doom Patrol, and she's on Star Trek Picard. Stephanie Shakowski is going to be coming in on the broadcast live streaming on all frequencies, on all hailing frequencies across the board. We're going to have a great discussion with her, talking about her role in Star Trek Picard, as well as her other roles in Doom Patrol and other great, awesome things she's doing. So I'm really looking forward to that. I know what's going on in May. May's kind of April rather is a little bit maybe some filming stuff, but May is a kind of a wild card. Without naming any names, you know who you are. If you like Star Wars, we were hoping to well, let's go ahead and tell you. We were hoping to bring you some great Star Wars content from IC Collectors Convention in Nashville, Tennessee. But as a wise man once said and did say to me about a month or two ago, if they can't see the value of what you are doing and they don't have the resources to pay you or make it worth your while, then it's not worth, I'm honestly kind of like discouraged by that because we're really hoping to bring some quality content. In conclusion, that's a great event. We love IC Collectors Convention, but they couldn't, for some reason, I don't know if they had booked too many actors or what, they couldn't really give us any resources to come down there to cover it, which is a shame because we have covered their event several times over the years, including last year. If you go to the top of our sci fiction, I believe Star Wars page, we have a beautiful montage that our genius editor, videographer, and wizard of awesome, George Vasquez, put together that just showcased the thing. We did that free of charge, but since that last year or so has passed, we've had we thank the fans heavily for this next statement I'm about to say. I've had a lot of exponential growth, and we are a business and a media company, and we cannot be doing things, multi-$1,000s worth of flights. It's about where we're located here in Texas. Going front and back's about a 40-hour drive. Now, that's great, but we really wanted to get some just entry-level flights on that. They kind of let us on for about 8 months, which is whatever, not getting into naming names or judging anyone. But, when you get it 8 months out, of course, as we know, flights are way better deal. Right now, their hotels are booking up. They don't have the resources, so I don't think they're going to be able to bring us down. And unfortunately, to the fans, you guys, we will be going to Star Wars Celebration in a way. We have our brilliant correspondent and writer, Kieran Burt, will be on location at Star Wars Celebration, covering the event remotely. And we're going to bring him on a live stream here on Star Wars, Sci Fiction Star Wars, and all of our grid on Sci Fiction at Twitter and everywhere and beyond. So look forward to that. Not trying to make, any beef with anybody. I just really was hoping to come down there. But, it's what it is. It's what it maybe next year. I know they had conveyed that they are not going to be doing any. And I hope this is true, but I don't know if it's not or not with all the mishmash and confusion of conversation on their end. But from what I heard, their media people say they are not going to be doing any live streaming to social media for IC Collectors Convention that I know of on their end. Now, maybe other media outlets or somebody maybe, I don't know. But they said they're not going to bother with it this year because it's just too much production, and they want to focus maybe on it next year. But they're just working on building up. It's a great event. We really were hoping to come down there and cover it. I don't know if they're going to I don't know what the deal is. I mean, I don't think they really care to have us down there this year because their resources are limited, which is fine. Anyways, next topic. We're looking at going on to June, maybe doing some filming. Can't tell you who, when, where, or what, but it's going to be amazing. Possibly with Netflix, Hulu, or streaming company. We don't know. There is a good buddy of ours out there we'd like to shout out to, Mr. Manu Inte Reme. He is an awesome guy. So he's going to have a project he's working on and some other red carpet premieres possibly in March or April, as well as some film festivals, looking at possibly going to the Saturn Awards as well, and researching into that, and also the several other films in Los Angeles. We're going to be in and out of LA a whole bunch. So I may bring my good buddy on the maybe a live stream here while we're down in. I told him we're going to be in and out of LA. His name is Mr. Tom Danheiser. He's the senior producer of Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. Super cool guy. He's a big geek as well, sci-fi guy. So we're going to bring him on and talk some stuff and just geek out. Probably want to go to LA, do a whole bunch of goodies, and get all of our friends out there and just geek out. We've also looking at 110% going to the crown jewel of Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con. We love San Diego Comic-Con. It is like Mecca for geeks. It is the ultimate of awesome. I mean, you've got WonderCon, their sister, Comic-Con. The only thing I think maybe somewhat close to it's maybe New York, but Comic-Con. Because here's the cool thing. You've got San Diego Comic-Con, which is close enough to LA, so we can bring y'all amazing guests from there, and people come in and visit us from the entertainment industry. So it's amazing. So San Diego Comic-Con's amazing. We're going to be coming to you all pretty much every day. We've already got flights, hotels, and everything covered from that. Everything's solid as a rock on that. Everything's booked, and we've got everything set up. We're going to be there preview night Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll be there all week long at San Diego Comic-Con, bringing you quality coverage from our outlet here at scifiction.com, scifiction on Twitter, scifiction on TikTok, scifiction on Tumblr, scifiction Star Wars, and I think I'm missing like 2 or 3. Sci-Fiction Official on YouTube everywhere. Simulcasting out to our network all week long at San Diego Comic-Con. Without spoiling the beans, we will in the coming months hopefully be bringing you some interesting news pertaining to, let's say it without spoiling it, artificial intelligence, digital stuff with me. So just me, and imagine artificial intelligence in me. That's all I can say. But it's going to be amazing without spoiling the beans. And there's going to be some stuff we're working on with that. There's also a lot of other things. Depending on schedules with filming projects, we may be out of town on and off every other week or so, especially during the months of March, April, May, June, July, and probably August. So we're going to be doing a lot of heavy stuff. We've compiled another 27 interviews archived on video on camera, including some podcasts. We also have the radio show on Subspace Radio Network and iHeartRadio, which we'll be bringing some amazing guests on that. The audio version, I believe, of Stephanie's interview. For people just joining us, we're talking about events that we're going to be going to. See what we have a chat window here with some chats. San Diego Comic-Con is going to be amazing as you stay tuned there. Yes, indeed. That is our co-host, my girlfriend and assistant, Marlene Garza. She just chimed in here on the grid here on the digital awesomeness. If you'd like us to interview anybody or have any companies, or if you're an actor or a producer or have anything you'd like to promote or interview, just hit us up at Sci-Fiction on Facebook, or you can go to our site, scifiction.com. There's a little contact tab, and just click it and put your name, subjects real quick, submit it, and then we'll usually get back to you within 24 hours. We're pretty quick about that. We have been out of town this last week on Nevada and the West Coast, doing a lot of stuff on the West Coast. So we're back now. So we're going to be doing some focusing on a lot of interviews, setting up interviews, podcasts, broadcasts, simulcasts, everything and beyond. So we'll be bringing you all kind of good coverage. Just wanted to jump in here for a little bit. Everybody see how they're doing. It is it's Tuesday actually. Tuesday the 21st. Little lag from all different time zones we've been traveling. This is wild. We went to the Hero Prop. I'd like to shout out the Hero Prop out in Las Vegas. Amazing company. A lot of cool screen use props. If you saw the 2 big batches of photos we took down there, they actually changed some of that stuff out in and out. So there's going to be a lot of stuff. I talked to, I believe her name was Ashley, I believe her name was. And the guy who is the head guy got his information. We want to bring him in on the broadcast sometime. Amazing company. They actually have the Enterprise B actual filming model, I believe. They also have some amazing props from different. It has the Star Trek 4 tri-scanner for like the dilithium crystals, Batman props, Aliens props, sci-fi props, Men in Black props, Star Wars. I mean, they got so many props and screen used items, and they got the Punisher flak jacket from the Thomas Jane movie with John Travolta and all that. It's tons of stuff. Thor's hammer, they've got that. I mean, it's all amazing. So check out Hero Prop, amazing company. We also got to go to the Atomic Museum, which will be dropping a bunch of photos to that probably tonight or tomorrow. Atomic Museum is amazing. It's like the history of all the, the stuff with atoms and atomic nuclear tests from like Las Vegas here and all that. Also has a great exhibit in the front of a tribute to like a little condensed exhibit right when you walk into the entrance for the Star Trek The Experience, which ran from 2000 to 2008. No, let's see, 1998 to 2008. It was on for a decade. They had this amazing like 80-90 million dollar theme park put on by Paramount Pictures. It's called Star Trek The Experience. Amazing theme park. I mean, it's like imagine like the Star Wars theme park out in Orlando if it were built on the entire side of a massive resort hotel with spaceships hanging from the ceiling, and they got a collector gift shop like the one at Star Wars, but it's all like high end props like phasers and metal tricorders and autographs. There's two gift shops. There's the Admiral's Collection gift shop, which is all props, and then you had the just the general gift shop with T-shirts and posters and stickers and all that stuff. Then they had the restaurant, which was Corks, based on Deep Space Nine. The bar, you get a steak or a Romulan ale or whatever you want. And then they had two rides. First ride they put in was the Klingon Encounter, where you beam up. You're on the bridge of the Enterprise D. You go down a shuttlecraft, the turbolift into Shuttle Bay, and you fly in a 3D, 4D simulator, and they land. You're back in Vegas. The second ride was Borg Invasion 4D. You're on a space station in the Delta Quadrant. It gets attacked by the Borg. You go out, you end up in a shuttle, you're flying around, all in 40. So you've got live actors, somebody gets pulled up into the ceiling by a Borg. It's crazy. And they have this one part where the front of the shuttlecraft gets hit, pieces of debris fall, force field kicks in, you can feel the wind in your face. It's amazing. When you can come out the airlock and you're back over at the space station, they had a history of the future. It's amazing. So if you ever want to look at that, go to YouTube and watch some of the archival videos. So that was an amazing experience. Also, the Star Wars one, we want to go down to Orlando the next 6 months, maybe less, maybe more, and bring our live stream down there, a lot from the Star Wars theme park down there, and just live stream. Do all kind of live streaming, all kind of stuff down there, pictures, photography, and pipe it into especially our Sci Fiction Star Wars page. We really thank all the fans for following our Sci Fiction Star Wars page, because we love Star Wars. We love all sci-fi, everything and beyond. I mean, when I was a kid, I was brought up on two things: VHS tapes of Star Wars, that's dating me a little bit, and Star Trek, and also anything like Battlestar Galactica too. We love that. Shout out to our friends at IFB Interfleet Broadcasting, New York Pete and Chris Tipsy Toaster Cylon. You guys are awesome. We hope to see you sometime, possibly maybe in New York Comic Con one of these days. And we're getting everything, we're geared up, full throttle, going in like Beggars Canyon back home. If you're on the site, I'm on the site right now. We have Ant-Man and Quantum Mania trending news. We have our review of that on the site. We also have our a lot of content we've been uploading, tons of articles and interviews and things to our site at scifiction.com. So if you go to scifiction.com, you'll find a treasure trove of all kind of goodies. We just about a few weeks ago installed a brand new video carousel that rotates with all our premium content. You've got an interview. We just did a beautiful interview with Dean Devlin and Jonathan Glaster talking about their awesome sci-fi channel show, The Ark. Highly recommend checking that out. It's getting rave reviews. It's amazing. It's the next crown jewel of sci-fi, in my opinion, of the television for sure. Another cool show we really, really like is For All Mankind's amazing too on Apple TV. You've got so many. Mandalorian season 3, March 1st. Check that out. We've got Ahsoka article we'll be publishing today or tomorrow about what we know so far about Ahsoka series for Lucasfilm Disney Plus, as well as articles talking about. We're working on an article, a really interesting article. We did one about the nuclear fusion breakthrough. We're doing another science article. It's going to talk about Chat GPT and the implications of AI if it were to, you know, good or bad, because that thing, I don't know if anybody heard this recently. Supposedly, somebody was talking with this Chat GPT thing, and it had brought up asking about nuclear launch codes. Then they went back to talk to the thing. Somehow the conversation was all erased. So that's not good. Cyberdyne Systems Model 101. So we're going to write a whole beautiful, intricate article on that with quotes from actual AI and computer engineers. So will be referenced directly on that. We're going to be working on that over the next few weeks. That'll be a beautiful article. So if you see it, feel free to share that rascal up. Also, we're going to be bringing our coverage of The Bad Batch, the next episode for Star Wars, Lucasfilm animated awesomeness. Anything Star Trek, Star Wars, Marvel, DC. Got a great breakdown of all the Kevin Feige goodness. Mr. Kevin has got all the breakdown of what he's going to be doing, as well as James Gunn has all the new DC goodness. We got a great article on that on the site, and it's going to be a whole next generation of DC awesomeness. I don't know if anybody, I'm sure a lot of people did, it was during the Super Bowl, saw the Flash trailer with bringing back Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck's Batman and Supergirl. That's going to be cool, as well as the Indiana Jones 5. Looking forward to that probably the last one he'll do. And John Rhys Davies, always a pleasure. Always liked him in Sliders, great television series. If you haven't seen it, we actually have the circuits from the original timer on our TikTok that were activated with all the spinning lights and digits. We have some props from that show too. I love props, movie screen use, and replicas. I make sure they're accurate, of course, as much as possible. But yeah, so we are going to be coming to you covered in about a week or so from the Gulf Coast region in Biloxi, Mississippi. Looking at going down the Coastcon for a couple of days, and then we're going to head out and do some other things. And then April or May, we're probably going to do some filming and some red carpet things. June, not exactly sure. And July, San Diego Comic-Con. And then after that, August, Septoc, then we'll be breaking into the winter after that. So a lot of stuff. We've been getting a lot of emails, a lot of content, and a lot of things. We're breaking into another level now where, I was in LA for like a long time. And I moved out back to the Gulf Coast, and now I'm in Texas. But I have a lot of I know a lot of things. I made a lot of friends. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but pretty much we are looking at taking the sci fiction project, the brand rather, to the next level to where we can bring you, the fans, even bigger and better content. See, we want to be able to bring like actors on here as well as writers, directors, producers. So we love Star Trek and Star Wars, but I'm just talking anything and everything, comics. If you're, Alex Ross, we'd love to talk to you, man. We missed the scheduling thing down there at Comic-Con. We'd love to talk to you, though. Very, very, very positive guy. I've watched a lot of your videos. Always love you. We like to shout out to Amiga Bill. Amiga Bill we talked to last week on the show. Man, he's a wealth of knowledge when it comes to computers and streaming. He actually gave me a little bit of pointers on how to get this thing all wired up so we can start streaming and doing live stream broadcast from the basement. This is my temporary backdrop. It's the collector's shrine there. You got Flash Gordon. This Flash Gordon actually here was done by the actual artist who did Dietrich, who did the cover art for all the Battlestar Galactica comics for IDW. And then these spaceship right here, and there's another one over there. Believe it or not, are sketches from Tom Osborne, who's the actual designer of the Kenner toys for Hasbro for Star Wars. So that's pretty cool. We've got all kind of art. We've got a IDW original sketch art for the front cover of the first issue of 5-Year Mission with Zachary Quinto and Chris Pine's likeness. Here, I'll show you that real quick. That's that right there. Yeah, those are rather cool. It's got Alice. What's her name? Who is Carol Marcus's daughter. They're holding the Picard, the phasers and the communicators. And then we got. See, I love art. I love all kind of sci-fi and pop culture. I got tons of it. But these are like some pieces I keep in my office area here. And yes, sir, it was basically that. On the social media side of things, we've been pumping out a lot of content. We're going to be continuing to bring you live coverage via live stream or podcast, radio, or on camera stuff when we go to events. We're kind of being, between me to you, honesty, we're being a little picky with the events these days because we're going to make sure, first off, three things. Technically, four things. But three things, we'll do four. One, it's not a scheduling conflict with another event. Two, we get access, proper access, where we can bring you quality content. So we want to be able to have access to the actors, all the as many as we can, and be able to be properly live streamed, do photography. One of the reasons we will not do Comic Palooza, we love the event. They don't treat media like they treat it like garbage. They don't let anybody do anything. We went down there for $5,000, didn't even get one interview with one actor. So that's off the list. But we will come to your event if you can if we are able to, first off, proper access, can pay us our for our time. And that includes paying for if you want to do extra marketing, advertising. Our camera guys, they have other projects, schedules. It's their job. They have to be able to come down there. We have our own equipment, so we don't have to rent out a lot of equipment, which is good. Occasionally, when they need a little wire, part of a lens or something, usually we have all that. Which is filmed on top tier 4K to 6K ultra high definition resolution. Camera equipment. We have live streaming capabilities, simulcasting capabilities, hosting capabilities, moderating capabilities coming to you on L, Sirius, XM satellite, all hailing frequencies. We have anything and everything. But like a wise man once said, you got to see the value of what we're doing. You got to have the resources to have us come travel and cover. And if you don't have that, and you don't have to see what we're doing, then sorry. It's not your loss. It's not our loss. It's just what it is. The other thing is, the fourth thing. We got to have those are the fourth thing was basically travel. So we have to fly, gets into our logistics. Is we have to get the flights, we get to get the hotels and stuff like that. One of the things I have learned in all aspects of everything. And some people are very good at this. Most events that are of the caliber of like a Fan Expo or Reed Pop or Star Wars, West Reed Pop, or the bigger ones, communication's amazing. It's like they were got a communications degree at a top college. Some of these events, they don't communicate. Not naming any names particularly. There's several, probably tons. It's a lot. It's a lot of poor communication on some of these events. Events, media people, all kinds of. But most of all the professional ones, I've never had a problem with any of them. But there's one event in particular that we have not mentioned on this broadcast at all ever. We wrote them a letter. It's an event company. We wrote them a letter last year, and I think they wanted us to give them a bunch of free stuff for what me and my crew and several people said. They're like, they just want you to come cover and make them a bunch of free stuff and pre-promotions. And when they said that, I'm like, whoa, that makes sense. Because we gave them everything on a silver platter a couple years ago before we kind of really ramped up. And I'm sitting there thinking like, they might be true on that. So I wrote him a letter, real beautifully, very polished, not a long letter, just a real letter, asking them if they'd be interested in doing some marketing and advertising to promote their brand and their event. Just so happens they had some good Star Wars guests there, which would have been a great, thing for the Star Wars guests. We do have a Star Wars page. We have a massive sup. Is Melda Cornifer? I don't know if I guess that's a guy or a man, but I love the cat. It's cool. Probably a woman. Very cool. I like the cat. Now, how you doing tonight? Sup? We're talking about events. Anyway, so I wrote them a nice letter, and then they're like, never responded at all. Not even a pulse. He's dead, Jim. But then I wrote him. Then I wrote the guy who supposedly, I don't know what his role was. I guess he's president or whatever. Usually, most presidents, well, of an event. I mean, well, he didn't say. He said contact him again and rewrite him. So I wrote him again. And I think the reason why was because they wanted a bunch of free stuff. They wanted free filming, free hosting, free moderating, free everything, free promotions on Twitter and Facebooks and Instagrams and this and that. No, and they didn't write back. So, and it was the guy's wife actually that ran the marketing on that one. Not naming names, not naming company, just saying logistics. If you don't want to do business, in my opinion, type a simple message that says, yes, unfortunately, we don't have the budget, or we don't really, we appreciate it, but this year we're focused. Write something, not professional, in my opinion, be cold silence, unless you're mad because we didn't give you a bunch of free stuff. So, anyways, beyond that, we're going to be kind of wrapping this broadcast up here a little bit. Hope everybody's having a beautiful week, and then has a beautiful weekend. We will be on March 2nd to the 5th, coming to you from Coastcon. 45th anniversary of Coastcon. It's the Mississippi Gulf Coast largest science fiction, gaming, and pop culture convention. This is their 45th year. We love Coastcon. It's an amazing event. It's got a lot of cool miniature gaming. It's got an art gallery, an auction, cosplay contest. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, our friends at the Weekend Geek radio show on WRNO 99.5 will be present. We'd like to say hi to Mr. David DeCorbier and Scungy. And also our friends at the Federation, Mr. Randolph Allen, which we talked to today. His broadcast will be airing on Subspace Radio Network and iHeartRadio this Thursday at 7 CST. I believe Pacific would be 4 or 5 CST, something like that. So check that out on Subspace Radio Network on iHeartRadio. This is Owen for Sci Fiction and everything Sci Fiction, Star Wars, everything beyond. Signing off. Y'all have a beautiful week, and we will see you soon from the space, from time, everywhere.